Hi everyone, you see already, spoiler, what am I going to talk about. I realized that every morning I am looking through YouTube in a search of a new review for R&F drawing oils, and I decided that means that I need to make my own. You see, that's all the colors that I now have. I'm missing white, which is super annoying, and I do think that it's Helen Cryer to blame for it, because she told everyone that it's perfect art material, and now quite a few colors are not available on Jackson's anymore. They were in stock but not anymore, so I'm waiting for it to be back, and I want to add a couple of more colors in this collection. That's actually a box for the watercolor postcards. It's 10 by 15 centimeters, and it's, as you see, is a perfect size for the sticks. In the end, I'm planning to fit 25 sticks in here, because there is 12, I think, 4 by 3, 12 in the line. There in the grooves on top, 11 sticks go perfectly. I don't want them to be like that. It's more stable when they are going in the grooves. And actually I realized that I can sneak a couple more like this. So in total 25 sticks will be fitting in here. Oh, sorry. Yes. Fixing the camera, which is actually just my phone. So what I want to tell you about them is first how they lay down on the paper, and not only on the paper, on canvas and other surfaces. I also can show how I substituted the lack of white drawing oil with a R&F pigment stick, which is actually perfect because it's so soft. It's softer than the drawing sticks, and so it layers on top for highlights just perfect. Though it's bigger, I would prefer the small stick, to have the small stick still. I also tried this thing, which is the blending stick with dryer. Not a fan, but I will show you also why. I also can show you how they mix, and I will edit now the video, the macro of like how it lays on a surface. Okay, now let's look at, I have here, how do I, let's do it like that. I have here the canvas. No, I will remove them for now. You will look at this. I have here the canvas pad where I was testing, and I will show you now more how I did some of the things. But first of all, I wanted to look at some of the colors, at their undertone a bit better, because when you just swatch them like that, for example, you see this two colors, which is quinacridone magenta and quinacridone red, look just like dark red and light red. Maybe this one warmer, this one a bit cooler. But then when you put them on white, you can see, oh, it's actually like this. You can see this, it's not the manganese violet, this one is quinacridone magenta. How much bluer you can see it on white, and how much warmer the quinacridone red is. So I did it for a few of them, and you can see that this is, how do I call it? Oh my god. This is raw umber. This one is raw umber. And you see how grayish this raw umber is. Or yeah, you can see the blue undertone, of course, with a paint gray. You can see almost the color of Prussian blue, I don't know, maybe a bit warmer than Prussian blue, of this midnight blue. That's actually midnight blue with white. That's cobalt, and this is that one, the subgreen. Subgreen. Okay, this one is subgreen with white. So you can see undertones better. And I also, that's the piece of my cat. I also checked how which greens I can have. I already have 2 greens by themselves in my collection, but also I wanted to see which greens I can make with the blues that I have and the yellows that I have. This is actually a bit of one thing that I am lacking in this color choice. I removed all the cadmium colors from the selection, and I removed 2 of the iridescent colors, and that meant that I only have a choice from 28 colors instead of 40. I can even show you in my iPad. That will be awkward now, but maybe it's informative. Yeah, so R&F oils have this great list with all the details on the website, and when you look at it, you see that 10 colors, including the one I really wanted before I saw cadmium in it, which is cherry absinthe. It's a nice dark color. They contain cadmiums, which I unfortunately trying to avoid. You can see it's here, it's like brownish green. So I took the full list of the colors and I just simply erased the ones that contain cadmium and iridescent colors, so I can look at actually the choice that I have. And then at first I bought only these colors. That was like just must have for me. That's a lot, I know, but yeah, I was really excited about this format. And then after that, you see I did a bit of analysis on the colors, on their undertones, on how useful they are. I looked at this pigment information in this list. I also put them in black and white, and I looked at the value balance, and I also knew that in this box I want to fit in 25, so that meant that I need to out of my choice of 28 I need to remove 3, and then the rest I can have. I actually didn't like that much this quinacridone magenta light. I'm not so fond of violets, and especially light violets, while manganese violet and Egyptian violet, I think they are single pigment and they are very useful in mixes. And actually I am not a big fan of phthalo because they are staining and they're very overpowering in mixes, and so with the sticks it's a bit harder to mix than in watercolor or simply oil. So I thought that cobalt blue is enough for me, and Provence blue, I really wanted it. It's very nice color, but again very easily mixable. Like adding a bit of magenta into any of these blues will give you this tint. So yeah, that's basically the selection. And you see with the green circles, green empty circles, is the 3 colors that I am missing here. So yeah, that's about how I was choosing them. If I would to choose even less, I would probably choose either quinacridone magenta or quinacridone red based on the preference of reds. I would probably choose Mars red as opaque burnt sienna color, and I would probably would not take Mars black because Payne's gray is actually, you can see it here, it's pretty dark. I can make it darker with the earth colors. So yeah, black is just for the line work, or if you use it in any other way. Plus, of course, greens are extra because greens are very easy, and it's actually preferable to mix them from blues and yellows. The one thing that makes me sad is that there are only, in all the selection, there are only 2 yellows. One is cadmium and one is nickel. They're both toxic. While it's not that dangerous because you don't inhale it and you hopefully don't eat it, it's still, I feel a bit uncomfortable blurring them and mixing them with my fingers. I don't like using gloves in that case. I want it to be tactile, and well, I'm just hoping for the best and just blending with my fingers the nickel yellow. I would love to have more yellows, maybe some warm yellow, Indian yellow maybe, and some Hansa that is not toxic and that is safer to blend with your hands. So that's about the selection. Then I wanted to show you about holding with your hands. I checked pastel holders from Jackson's, and the bigger one, I think it's 11 to 12 millimeters. They have two. One is 7 to 8 something, and the other 11 to 12, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, the one that is bigger is absolutely perfect for this. So you can put it in, and your hands are not gonna get dirty. And also when this pastels will, or oil sticks will become just a short stump, it will be easier to use it. I'm thinking of taking the second one, buying the second one when I buy white, which is missing, and a couple of other colors. I will buy another one because yeah, I think it's a great little thing, and it's not too expensive. About surfaces, you can draw on paper, however paper will be eaten by oil because it's an oil paint. So what I do now when I practice is I use this pads which already has a bit of gesso, and I also, that's a fun little trick, I ordered from Jackson's. Also, you can order samples of canvases, and I really need them as samples because I want to see which ones I prefer. I haven't worked with canvases too much before, and with oils. So you have this test canvases that you can buy for very cheap, just one per type per order, but there are a lot of types. And my plan is for that is to basically test the canvases by doing multiple small paintings, and this will also let me practice. The way I do it, because it's just a soft canvas, I have here this plastic board, and I just use the I stick it to the board like this, and then naturally when you do the small painting, you have this white boards, and then this is like you can glue it to a backing if you want to. I'm just gonna, like, I don't have much place to store them, and it's test paintings anyway, so I just put it on a shelf for drying. This one was done like a week ago and it's all dry, also thanks to a cobalt dryer, which I will show you now how it works. But yeah, that also shows a bit the level of details that you can reach, and that's actually the white pigment stick. So let's do this. Let's see how the dryer is working. So we do some drawing, trying to remove my hand so you can see it in focus. Some mixing, you see they mix really well. You can also see in Helen's video in detail like how they're mixing with finger, but like this they also mix very well, and you don't spend too much of them because they are tougher than pigment sticks. But yeah, I'm guessing that still you can't draw too big of paintings with them because they are so small and so expensive. I'm not gonna say any more about that. They are way more expensive even than R&F pigment sticks by the volume. Anyway, this is the dryer. Look at what will happen. You see? So when you add it, it adds so much transparency that I don't think that for the top layers you would use it. The only way I would use it, and the way I used it in this small picture, is I put it exactly in the background where I could smudge things and where opacity was not that big of a problem. And then this would dry, I think next day, touch dry basically. So it does work, but I don't know how you would use it in any way other than for the background. And it gets dirty. But that's all right, you can just clean it with a sheet. Also, let me show you in another place. It's magenta, something dark, it's midnight, or the Egyptian violet also is very, no wait, it's manganese, yes, no, Egyptian violet. It's a very dark, nice color. While I don't like generally violets, it's very useful for the paintings, complementary colors, mixing, so that's a very good one. And also I just felt it, and I wanted to say that some of the sticks, similar to an oil sticks, some of these drawing oils are softer than others. So you see this Egyptian violet is like very soft. It puts quite some paint on the surface, and then some others are less, like manganese violet felt pretty hard, and it's very transparent, but again very good in mixing. Impressionists used it a lot. Monet loved it, and it's really nice for this multicolor shadows. That's what I want to do. I want to do actually a few studies of Monet. And here the white stick goes. So I will show you the difference. Let me take some, yeah, this is the light color cerulean gray, and if I try to put cerulean gray here, look, it only will go if I push, and I will get this paint basically away from the surface, and then it lays down. So with the highlights it's a bit challenging with this drawing oils because they are not as soft, but if you take soft oil stick, pigment stick, it's like way softer, meaning way easier. Let me show you up close. You see, I don't need to, it does push some pigment away, but more like it blends with it, not really pushes. I don't need to push as much, and I can have way more layering with those. So I think having white pigment stick is actually a very good idea. Yeah, well, basically that's it. I enjoy I enjoy using them a lot, and I really like how gestural you can be. I really like how you are just doing it with your full hand, and I also like that it's not as mushy and soft as pigment sticks. So I think it's perfect thing to take with you actually plein air. The question is, of course, that you won't be able to just do it in a sketchbook. You need somehow cover this thing, or you will carry it carefully like this till you back home. If you have a garden, I think it's a good thing to sit in a garden with them. But anyways, I think it's a very nice addition, especially if you are intimidated by oil paintings and oils, but you still want to try and have oil sketches. That's a very good option to try, in my opinion. I enjoy them a lot, and they're like just very tactile, and it's important for me if it's pleasurable to use, and it is. If you have any questions, please shoot them in the comments. I hope it was useful. Bye.